myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built the win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I built the win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back with another episode. And today we are talking about the College Football Playoff Semifinals. Man, I'm excited. I'm kind of sick. They both on different days. Today is one game, tomorrow is another. But hey, I mean, it kind of extends the football season. So I'm also, it's like the Alonzo Mourning gift, like whatever. But I got a special guest with me. His team won last week. They defeated the Ohio State Buckeyes. He came on here and told y'all they was going to beat the Ohio State Buckeyes. Family to the show as always. We got my boy Ace. Say what's up to the people, Ace.
What's going on, man? So happy to be here. Happy to survive another day. Happy to be a Miami Hurricane, man, with a chance to go at the Natty. I'm ecstatic, man. Ain't nothing better.
Yeah, man, I'm happy for you. I said on the show, man, I had Ohio State winning, but I was rooting for y'all. I'm not going to lie. Like, as a Michigan State fan, I don't like Ohio State, so I was rooting for y'all. Oh, shoot, as Isaiah Horton plans to enter the transfer portal yet again. But
just seen that.
Yeah, I just seen it too. But yeah, congratulations to y'all. Big game tonight. Two teams yet again who did not earn bye weeks are in the semifinals. While 3 or 4 teams who did earn bye weeks lose their first week in the playoff. The only team that didn't is, of course, the GOAT, Cincinnati. He's the only team in the past 2 years since the 12-team format who had a bye week and won. So shout out to them. We'll talk about them a little later. But this is how the show's going to go. We're obviously going to talk about Miami versus Ole Miss first. They play tonight at 7:30. Then we'll talk about Indiana, Oregon. So without further ado, I'm going to read some of these comments, and then we're going to get right to it. So shout out my brother. He said Final Four already, man. This season flew past. Definitely did. It definitely has. Shout out my boy Teddy in the comments. He says, yo. Brother, he says, Miami got to bring it home. Shaking my head. Can't believe they beat the best. I kept telling you, bro, y'all not winning the national championship. Y'all team was not good enough. And then shout out Daniel Matthews. He says, hi. How you doing today, bro?
Hello.
But without further ado, let's get into the first game, the semifinal, which is the Fiesta Bowl, which features 10th seed Miami versus 6th seed Ole Miss. Now, Miami comes into this one as 3.5-point favorites, even though Ole Miss has beaten the SEC champ and the Georgia Bulldogs. This game is 7:30 on ESPN, but they're gonna have all the other ways to watch it. They might have the Sky Cam, the Field Pass, yada yada. I think they had Ray Lewis type version when y'all played Ohio State. So they'll have all the different versions. But this game is 7:30 on ESPN. Now, Miami. No, I'm starting with Miami's the highest seed. We start with the highest seed. Miami, man, led by Carson Beck. Well, he's the quarterback, but the game plan kind of recently has been run Mark Fletcher. Okay, I mean, I might beg to differ, but Carson Beck, he's now 296 of 378 or 398, 74.4% completion percentage, which is outstanding. 3,313 yards, 27 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Mark Fletcher on the ground, leads the Hurricanes with 177 carries, 947 yards, 5.3 carry, and 10 touchdowns. And Malachi Tony, which Malachi Tony got to fix them fumbling problems, man. He fumbled yet again. This time he just got it back. 94 catches, 1,008 yards, so over the 1,000-yard mark, and 8 touchdowns for the young stud freshman. Now, my X factor for y'all in this game, last week I went with the D-line and Ruben Bain, but, I mean, Trinidad Chambers got legs, so he may be able to maneuver some of that. I got C.J. Daniels. I think C.J. Daniels is going to have to step up big in this game. I think he's going to possibly need a touchdown. Because I think while y'all defense is phenomenal, I think offense might need to take effect in this game. So I put C.J. Daniels as my X factor. Y'all are 10th in total defense still. Y'all had 5 sacks against Ohio State last game, 2 interceptions, and now 5th in rushing defense. Ace, talk to me about the U.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited about this game. I think this is definitely going to be a game where, you have to look at both of these teams, well, particularly us. Our front line is, our bread and butter for sure. We have to be able to get at Trinidad Chambers. We have to cover long enough to limit those crazy plays when he scrambles. I think when you look at how he affected the game last week, and you look at our defense, he can definitely be our kryptonite. He has this Johnny Manziel kind of thing that happens, and the longer you cover is going to be hard for our. The longer you cover is going to be hard for our defense to keep up and stick to their man. So with that, the offense has to be able to hold on to the ball. We got to be able to keep them off the field, and that's where Carson Beck and Mark Fletcher and that offensive line comes in. Um, I think that we'll definitely be able to run the ball. That's not really going to be an issue. I believe it's not going to be an issue. I think Ole Miss, while I think their defense is a little bit underrated, they've been able to come up with big plays. However, that Georgia's running back going out last week definitely lended them a hand in them coming back from 9 down and everything. Carson Beck has to be efficient. He just has to do what he's been doing, man. We don't need him to go out there and be Drew Brees dotting everybody up, but he has to be able to make those key third down throws. Like you said, CJ Daniels has to step up. I think it's going to be a Malachi Tony day, to be honest with you, because I think we can beat Ole Miss to the sidelines and around the corner. I think that even if they do key in on him, Keelan Marion can still break out and have a day. We could see Shamar Brown come in at running back, give Mark Fletcher a spell, because I do think that we have the better running back room. I think Keywan Lace. We'll get into that part when we talk about Ole Miss, but I think we have the better running back room. I definitely think we have the advantage on both offensive lines. And when you look at championship teams, I think we have the makeup that anybody who wants to win a championship will want.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk about Ole Miss when we running back when we talk about Ole Miss, like you said. But yeah, I think this game, like I said, not for Ole Miss, for Miami, you're gonna have to bring more to the game offensively. Last 2 playoff games, I mean, you did put up 17 offensively as a Hurricane because 7 of those points came off a pick 6. But offensively, these last couple games, you've got 1 touchdown in each game offensively. So I think you're gonna have to put up a little bit more than that in this one against the Ole Miss offense, who put up 39 against Georgia, really 37 because one was a safety. And then Tulane, they put up 40, 50. Now people gonna say, oh, it's Tulane, but Georgia, Tulane is the same kind of production for real. So this Ole Miss team has been hot offensively, and I know your defense has been playing well, but I think Ole Miss has the athletes to give you some problems. OJ Frederick, he's turned into play from what I saw, but who knows how healthy he is.
He's playing.
Yeah,
we get Amari Brown back as well.
Yeah. So that's gonna be kind of big. I love Jacoby Thomas, man. He be striking. I love him at the safety position. He's gonna be big. And then Keontae Scott's just been a difference maker since he came back as well. So your defense is good, but this Ole Miss offense is good as well. So to me, it's gonna be interesting to see. But we'll move over to the Ole Miss side of the
Hold
game.
on. Let me say one more thing about the offense, though.
Go ahead.
I do feel what people are saying. Like, we definitely haven't had the best showings on offense in the past 2 games, for sure. I agree. But, this is still a team that averaged 30 points throughout the season. You know what I mean? And I think on top of that, I believe that we can score on them. Like, this is not to say that they're a bad defense, but this is definitely the lesser of the defenses that we have faced thus far. You know what I mean? So I think sure, we're not the super explosive team, but explosives do happen. You know what I mean? If we set it up right, Carson Beck can push the ball down the field. It's not like he's inept at doing those things. I think with Carson Beck is, for one, if you're going to pressure him, Carson Beck has been very good versus pressure this year. You know what I mean? And I think where Carson Beck flusters is when you can reach him with four. And that has happened very seldomly throughout the season, i.e., the SMU game and,
Louisville.
Louisville. So, and then even with some of those picks, like some of them bounced off a player, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Some of them was tipped. So I understand how people feel about Carson Beck. I even felt that way about him. There's a pretty good clip of me last
I
year
still got it.
how saying how I felt about Carson Beck, you know what I
I
mean?
still got it.
But however, I think that, it's the ultimate team sport, you know what I mean? So we can't expect Carson Beck to be somebody who he isn't, but I also think that the perception of who he is a little bit skewed just because of how everything ended at Georgia and the way that the offense has performed during the playoffs. But again, what you got to do versus what you want to do is,
I'll say
kind of
this: when I
different.
look at Carson Beck, I look at him as I look at a Sam Darnold kind of, where it is if the pressure gets
Sure,
on, ooh, I'm nervous for Carson Beck. But if everything
sure,
going good, I don't expect Carson Beck to really mess it up. So that's kind of how I look at Carson Beck. But I do feel you though. This is going to be like not no shot at Ole Miss, but this is the worst defense in the playoffs I have faced. Like Texas A&M defense, elite. Ohio State defense was like number one in a bunch of categories, elite.
yeah,
So this is going to be the worst defense I face. So I do feel like
yeah. And I
y'all
think
can't
worse
get
is
things
probably
going.
like the wrong word to use because
It's
there's
just
no
lack of a better
disrespect to
term.
them. But
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, lack of a better term for sure. But I do get your point on that. So we'll move on to the Ole Miss side of the ball, where they're led by D2 Ferris State, transfer Trinidad Chambliss, who took the world by storm. Everybody's saying if he's like 6'4", he'd been number one overall pick. Um,
Probably.
I don't know, but 271, a 4.8, 3,660 yards, 66.4 completion percentage, 21 touchdowns for just 3 interceptions, which is really good. 520 rushing yards to 8 rushing touchdowns. Kawan Lacey, man, a dog who has this, he will be joining Ole Miss next year. 295, 1,464 yards, five a
Mm.
carry, 23 touchdowns on the year. And Trey
Dog.
Wallace, I know Trey Wallace is excited. He left Penn State, 57 catches, 894 yards, and 4 touchdowns for the receiver on the year. Now, my X factor, I don't have a player. My X factor this game is going to be the O line because Miami plays in people's backfields. They had 41 sacks going into the Ohio State game. They have 46 sacks going into this game. That O line is going to have to. They're gonna have to work, man. Keeping guys like Ruben Bain and was it Massador? I might
Yeah,
be,
Mesidor.
yeah, Massador. Keeping guys like that away from the quarterback. Now, Chambliss does have legs, so that does help the stats. He can, as you see, do some NFL Street, NCAA Madden type stuff like he did against Georgia. So that does help the stats. But they're going to be the X factor to me, trying to keep their quarterback as clean as possible because Miami can't play in that backfield. They're 10th in scoring offense, second in total offense, third in passing offense, and 33rd in rushing offense. So talk to me about Ole Miss Ace.
Yeah, well, Ole Miss, you can't help but think about that two-headed monster that they have in the backfield with Chambliss and Lacey, man. Keywan Lacey, for one, he's excellent in pass protection. Like he lifts
Man,
people off the ground. Like he doesn't take the hit, he delivers them for sure. And Chambers, I mean, like I said earlier, he has this Manziel-esque kind of thing going on with him. Like, even when you go back to that Georgia game and you see those, I think it was like three scrambles in a row,
man, he
like a
just
lot of
spun
them
out.
on third down, like stuff like that. You can't prepare for it all the time. You know what I mean? All you can do is just hope you get to him or hope your DBs can cover long enough. And the thing that's dangerous about him is he's always looking, to throw the ball. He's not looking to run once he starts running. He's looking for somebody to break open and he's going to deliver the ball. And he delivers it on time. Like his back shoulder fades are impeccable. Like he is very good with ball placement. Like he's impressed me like very much by that Georgia game. And I'm not going to act like I was on him all year because I definitely wasn't. I thought that Ole Miss was just going to fall off after Lane Kiffin left, to be
I
honest.
did too. I'm not gonna
You
lie.
know. And I think, their storyline is definitely good. You have the coach that basically didn't believe in you. You have players you got coaches who are leaving as well. I think their receiver coach is gone now, and countless other people. I think
Didn't the
Charlie
OC
Weiss
leave?
Jr.
Yeah.
has
I think it
one
also
foot
left.
in, 1 foot out. I mean, he's still calling the plays, and I think he's really good too. Charlie Weiss Jr. I think he could be a very good X factor for this game, just because like in that Georgia game, you see sometimes when coaches find something that works, they kind of go away from it, trying to like play the game. He wasn't with none of that. He just went straight for it. Like he attacked Georgia, and I think that's something that you definitely have to do with our defense. Once you find something to, because that's the same thing that Louisville did. Once you find a hole in how we play, you got to
You gotta
go for
exploit
it,
it, yeah.
because otherwise, if you take too much time, you know what I mean, we're gonna get to you. And I think that Chambliss is definitely going to be, in rhythm for a lot of this game. Is he's going to be getting the ball out under 3 seconds. You know what I mean? It's going to be I think it's going to be a lot of dink and dunking at first, and then you know, I think these are two teams that thrive on a lot of yak.
Oh,
Well, even
Ole
even
Miss for
though I will
sure.
say, even though I will say that, not to take away from the fact that Ole Miss does push it down the field. I mean, I think all their receivers average about like 15 yards a play, if I'm not
But
mistaken.
I get what you're saying though, because Ole Miss receivers definitely yards out the catch. Trey Wallace,
For sure.
Winston Watkins, Deshaun Stribling,
Sure
Caden Lee.
tackling, yeah,
Yeah,
sure tackling is going to be super, super important in this game. And to know on a Fiesta Bowl field that I believe is notoriously kind of slippery. I think over the years we've seen a lot of players slip and things like that at this field. I think I saw a video right before we got on that apparently it's raining in Arizona, and there's like raindrops coming through the roof and stuff like that. So
mm.
I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do on defense. I'm assuming it's going to be bend don't break, and I know
Mm.
that they're going to try to push us with pace, and I
I
think that is. I think that's smart, you know what I mean? But I also have to say that I don't think that just because, okay, last game versus Ohio State, right before the half, they went pace. People saw Ruben Bain Messidor kind of gas. I want to say that was like the end of the second quarter. You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah.
who isn't kind of gassed at that point. But
And yeah,
also
like that was like right after the pick six, wasn't it? Because the
I
pick six was
think
like late in
so.
the first half, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember exactly, but I think it was something like that. And also, we've seen multiple teams that run pace. Like I think Ole Miss averages about 74 to 75 plays per game. Syracuse averaged around 70. Louisville, not Louisville, but
No, SMU, like SMU, kinda,
SMU,
yeah.
SMU. It was somebody else that we played. I just had to list up. Let me see, where is it
That y'all played.
that we played? It was Syracuse, South
What y'all playing?
Florida,
South Florida, but that was
Pittsburgh. I'm just saying Florida State. These are all teams that average like that
okay.
that do play with pace as well.
Gotcha.
So I'm just saying that to counter the fact that yes, Ole Miss may go pace, but how many 3-and-outs do they get? You know what I'm saying? Like until that backfires on them.
Yeah,
And I think that we definitely have the athletes to match up with them. Like we are a way better tackling team than we have been in the past. Like it is light years from where it is. And I know I'm supposed to be talking about Ole Miss, but I can't help myself. But I like Ole Miss. Great story, great quarterback, great athletes. They very much deserve to be where they are. But
yeah. I thought Ole Miss was gonna be done at the Georgia game too, to be honest, because no lane. But shout out Joe in the comments. He called me like literally 20 minutes before the game. Was like, "Why y'all don't think Ole Miss got a chance? I think Ole Miss got a shot, and they won." So shout out Joe. But
definitely did.
yeah, I think Ole Miss is going to defensively anyway. They're probably going to sell out to stop the run. If I'm being honest with you, that's probably how they looking at it. We got to stop the
That's what I
run.
would do.
Yeah, stop the run and make Carson Beck beat us. I think that's going to be the game plan for Ole Miss, which I'm not too mad at that game plan at all. But we got to pick a winner in this matchup, and we already know where A's going, so I'm not going to ask him. I'm just going to ask him after I pick mine why he thinks Miami's going to win. I'm going with Miami. I think Miami makes it to the national championship, man. I do. I think that this defense has balled, and they've showed me a lot. Shout out Coach Heatherman, man. Just changes lives for people defensively. He's their DC, and they've given up a combined 17 points in the last two games, and not for nothing. Marcel Reed, scrambling quarterback who can run, even though I don't really trust him. But they've seen a guy who can use his legs, and they did an excellent job against him at their house, mind you. Then Julian Sand is more of a pocket guy. They did a great job. Honestly, they did a great job defensively against Ohio State. It's just Jeremiah Smith is Jeremiah Smith. He it's tough to
Right?
contain
Yeah.
him. It's tough to contain him. So this defense is play lights out. While I think Ole Miss has a ton of athletes at the receiver position, they've seen teams with athletes at the receiver position. Texas A&M, Kevin Concepcion, Mario Craver gave up 3 points. Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, who just declared for the draft, and Brandon Ennis. The only person that
He's
got
coming
off.
back.
No, Carnell Tate declared for the draft. Brandon, I don't know about Brandon Ennis.
No,
I know.
I just saw Brandon Ennis coming back.
Yeah, I was about to say, I've seen Carnell Tate gone, which as he should. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they seen those guys at receiver, gave up 14 points, and really Jeremiah Smith's the only one that really got off. And so I think they're going to do a really
And
good
Chris
job.
Bell with Louisville. He definitely.
Nah, I'm talking about the playoffs.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just talking strictly playoffs. And I mean, y'all seen guys in the regular season for sure. You seen Romello Brunson, Jordan Hudson,
Mm-hmm.
Chris Bell, like the list goes
Sure.
on. But in the playoffs, y'all seen those guys and gave up a combined 17 points. So I think this Miami defense is going to flourish yet again. I do think that Ruben Bain and Massadori can get to the quarterback, even though he has legs. They can get there. Ole Miss, I think they'll have some success running the ball, but again, Miami's run defense is nothing to sneeze at all. So I don't think that they're going to just run them to death. So yeah, I'm going with Miami. I think this defense is going to do fine. Tell me why you think Miami is going to beat Ole Miss.
I think we will win because one, if you go pace, we have a rotation. We have Lightfoot. You know, what I mean, we have Blay, who's probably starting. We have Moten coming back on the at D line, who got hurt last week. We have guys at two or three players deep on the offense on the defensive line, sure tacklers. We we dictate the pace of games usually. Even if you want to go fast, we'll slow it down. You know what I mean? We will hoard the ball and we will do like one thing I love about our offense is that when we snap the ball, it's 4 or 5 seconds left on the clock. When Ole Miss snaps the ball, it's 20 seconds left on the clock, 23. You know what I mean? So that's going to be one of those things, those sneaky things in this game that's going to make a difference, I believe. Then also, offensively, if you want to shut down our run game, okay, try to for one.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, line it up and we'll see what happens. But say even if you can do that, or even if you can slow us down a little bit, you're still leaving yourself open on the back end because there's no way that you're gonna have to load the box against us. And then if you load the box, we can just dink it, dunk it, and you know what I'm saying, let Malachi Tony make a little move. We can have Keelan Murray on a little out. If he make one man miss, who knows how long that's going. CJ Daniels could be a deep threat. JoJo Trader could come off the bench. All he needs is 1 or 2 catches. You know what I mean? And his routes are usually deep, so it's like it's not like we can't attack. It's not like we can't get vertical in the passing game. And I think that the only thing about Ole Miss that I feel like they truly have an edge on us is kicker. They have a guy who can
He
boot
booted
it.
that, yeah. He booted that
He
thing
can
last
boot
week.
it, and he is accurate. And I think that for
Let's talk
us,
about kickers.
look, man, for us, we just got it. We just got to keep them in check, and we got to keep it at 3 instead of 7, or preferably 0. But we can't give them short fields. We got to take care of the ball. But I think those are things that we have proven we can do. And also, nobody has scored 30 points on us this year. Nobody, not a single person. So while Ole Miss will put up points, sure, they will get in the end zone, sure, but you know what I mean, how many times? I don't think it's going to be 4 or 5. You know what I mean? It's kind of I got to see it to make me believe
Teddy almost banned you. So I'm gonna go over these comments real quick. Teddy says, "I think Miami's gonna win tonight by 7 or more." I'm not mad at
it. I
that.
agree. I
I'm not
agree.
mad at that. I'm definitely thinking about taking Miami minus 3.5 tonight. Ole Miss. He says, "Go Ole Miss." Tip top 4-3. Shout out you. Joe says both of these games should be good. Yes. Oh, I can't wait for this
No
rematch.
doubt.
I'm going with the U. I think Miami will get pressure on Trinidad Chambliss. I don't know if you were driving, but you misspelled pressure. Wide right. That's why I almost banned him, and then he put the laugh emojis. We didn't talk about kickers. We didn't talk about slipping. Oh, we trying to bring back up
And you
Sunday
see, I've
night.
been good. I ain't said a thing.
It's all good, man. We fired hardball. I'm good now. So that is the Miami game. We both had Miami beating Ole Miss tonight, 7:30. Make sure y'all tune in. Next, we got to talk about the next game. Another rematch. So far in the playoffs, every round has had a rematch. They
Mhm.
first round had Alabama, Oklahoma. That was a rematch. The second round, they had 2 rematches. They had Ole Miss, Tulane, and Alabama. Boom. The second round, we had the Ole Miss, Georgia rematch. So far, the first round, Bama got their get back on Oklahoma, but Tulane lost their get back to Ole Miss. Second round, Ole Miss got their get back on Georgia. Will Oregon get their get back against Indiana, who played earlier in the year, and Indiana won what 30-20, limiting
Mhm.
Oregon's offense only to 13 points. They scored a pick six. That was the one of their touchdowns. So I'm interested in this game. We got fifth ranked Oregon versus first ranked Indiana. Again, Indiana is the only team in the college football playoff 12 team since they did the 12-team bracket to advance while having a bye week. They are 3.5-point favorites against the Ducks. This game is 7:30 on ESPN tomorrow. This is the I had it written down. Where's it at? This is the Peach Bowl um, for a chance at the national championship. And might I add this: if Signetti wins, he's only lost to teams playing for the national championship game. And if he loses, he still has only lost to teams playing for the national championship. So that is a crazy stat for your first 2 years at
Ridiculous.
Indiana. So just wanted to throw that out there. Now for Oregon, they're led by some people think the number one quarterback in the draft next year. Some people got Mendoza. So this is really like the battle of the number one overall pick, to be honest. And
Mhm.
Dante Moore is 272 of 373, 3,280 yards, 72.9% completion percentage, 28 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Noah Whittington at running back, 129 carries, 829 yards, 6.4 carry, and 6 touchdowns. And Malik Benson at wide receiver, 41 catches, 696 yards, and 6 touchdowns, who stepped up tremendously while DeCorian Moore was hurt, which goes to my X factor being DeCorian Moore. I think he's going to be huge in this one. I think they need a ton of production against this defense if they're going to have a chance to win. Now, I do want to say this. Last week against Texas Tech defense did a tremendous job, in my opinion, against this Oregon offense. It's just the Texas Tech offense and Baron Morton could not give them anything. And even Ben Roberts caught a pick late in that ball game, set him up in midfield, and they did nothing with it. I think they threw a pick right back. So it was just terrible, the Texas Tech offense. And so I think this Indiana defense can give this Oregon offense some fits. Now, Oregon is 10th in scoring defense, 6th in total defense, 4th in passing defense, 19th in rushing defense, and they had 4 sacks against Texas Tech last week. But I think this Oregon offense is obviously better with DeCorian Moore, Malik Benson, and Sadiq. That's almost said Sadiq Bey. Kenyon Sadiq being there for sure. The running backs, they got like a little three-headed monster. I saw somewhere that Davidson might have got hurt on that last touchdown, but I'm pretty sure he's playing. But they got like a 3 running back rotation there. But man, Signetti and his coaching staff is going to be tough to stop whatever he got schemed up. I'm pretty sure he's going to bring something new out the bag since they played each other. Talk about Oregon for me, Ace.
Oregon, I think this is the first time Dan Lanning can truly say that, give an underdog speech to his team because, he loves his speeches. Um, and I think that's, probably something that will, have some kind of bearing on the game. I think that Dan Lanning is a guy who can really fire his teams up and he can get the best out of players. Um, Dante Moore, what more can you say? He's the guy, he's the engine that makes this Oregon offense run. I take that back. The running game is the engine that makes this Oregon
I was
offense
about to
run,
say,
honestly. Like, or once if they run the game not going, they really not going. And if you can force Dante Moore out of his rhythm, ugh. But if you can't, I mean, this is a scary team. Like you said, DeCorian Moore is coming back, and I think that's a guy who has been itching to get back on the field and show what he can do. A five
he played
star.
last week. He played last week.
Did they play last week?
He did. He
Oh,
didn't.
well,
I don't think he did much, but he played.
well, that's good, man. Just even better. So at least he's not coming in like super rusty, I guess. But I think this is a team whose defense is a bit underrated. I think that they can
For
definitely
sure.
get after the quarterback. The defensive line can definitely put some pressure on you, and I think Indiana knows that very well from the first game. I think that this is going to be one of those like slugfest kind of games. I think this is going to be like I imagine this being like I don't think the total's going over 40 in this game. I think these teams are very familiar with each other, but I think Oregon is going to come out with a bad taste in their mouth from the last results. And I think that they are ready to prove that they can hang with Indiana. And I think they kind of maybe resent the fact that people are like, oh, this Indiana team is unbeatable and they've done this and they've done that. And Oregon probably feels like, people are underestimating them.
All right, I do want to say this because you did bring up a good point, and even I underrated their defense last week for sure. Oregon defense is underrated. Like I was kind of speaking a little down on their defense because they I said they can be leaky, which is true. They gave up
Yeah,
30
they
to
can for
Indiana at
sure.
home last time they played, so they're a good defense, but sometimes they do give up a ton of points. Like they gave up what 30 something I think against USC. They gave up. I mean, granted, a lot of it came late in the game, but like 30 what the JMU or something like that. So they can give up points.
No, yeah,
This
for
is a
sure.
good
But it
defense.
was garbage time
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Then you got what's that freshman cornerback
Brandon,
who's
I was about to
pretty
bring him up.
yeah,
Brandon Finney,
Aaron
he's
Flowers.
a
Oh, Brandon
dog.
Finney, that's his name.
Yeah,
I
he a
thought
dog.
oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah. I see. Yeah,
he's
seven
nice.
pass
I do
breakups,
like
yeah,
Brandon
for
Finney. I was gonna
sure.
bring him up. He's
That's
nice.
something.
I do like him. Number 4 for
Oh,
the
type of
Oregon
dude.
Ducks. Yeah, he's nice. So that's a guy who could play a factor in this game as well. He could. I don't think he's gonna eliminate anybody because man, I'll get into that when we talk about Indiana. But that dude nice.
Well, I mean, with Indiana, you probably gonna have to pick your poison anyway. You're
That,
not getting rid of everybody.
that wasn't a shot. I was saying y'all put up a ton of points. That wasn't a shot. Come on, man. But we'll talk about Indiana. Indiana undefeated, best season ever. Led by Fernando Mendoza at quarterback. A lot of people call him corny, but he literally did the same type speeches at Cal. So like, it's not like he changed up. He literally did it.
He's very Andrew Luckish.
Yeah, he did the same thing when they beat Stanford in the rivalry game. Nah, that was for JMU, Teddy. That wasn't for y'all.
Yeah, that one for y'all.
But on the season, he's 240 at 332, 3,172 yards, 72.3% completion percentage, 36 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, which was Lamar's MVP season numbers, the first one.
Mm.
Roman Hemby, running back, 194 carries, 1,007 yards, 5.2 a carry, and 7 touchdowns. The former Turk, he left Maryland. I got to throw a shot at Tomo. Omar Cooper Jr., even though you could pick him or Elijah Sarray, I just went with the guy with the more receiving yards. 61 catches, 848 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Surratt has 13 touchdowns on the year. But my X factor, and I didn't even know who this guy was at the beginning of the year. Big play Charlie Becker. That man just got a knack for making huge plays. I didn't even know who he was to start the year. I know who he is now. Hey, bro, tough. Charlie Becker is tough. He has 28 catches on the year, 566 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He just got a knack for making big plays in big moments. So that's my X factor. Indiana is second in scoring defense, fourth in total defense, third in rushing defense, 18th in passing defense, third in scoring offense, and they had 3 sacks last game against Alabama. Talk to me about Indiana.
I think Indiana is one of those teams where, I'm gonna quote the great Bill Belichick on this one.
All right,
Just do your job.
for sure.
Just do your job. And that is what this team does game in and game out. They just do the dang job, man. They not doing nothing special. They're not doing nothing crazy. They're just lining it up. They punch you in the mouth and they executing at a high level. This is all Kurt Signetti does. Even from the Elon days to JMU to now where he is at Indiana, this guy just knows how to bring men together. Pause, because that I don't even know how
We
to
don't.
sound.
Hey, you don't gotta worry about that on my show, bro. You don't gotta
But
worry about that.
he knows how to bring these guys together, make them become a team, make them play for each other, and above all, make them play disciplined and smart. This is one of the most disciplined teams I've ever seen. I don't know if I've even seen them like get a flag. Frankly, to be honest with you, I know I'm being facetious a little bit,
Nah, I
but I
get
mean
you, but I get you
they're
for
really that
sure.
good. You know what I mean? Like they're really that good, and I think that once again I know Fernando Mendoza is the he's the as people would like to think the catalyst of this offense and what makes everything go. But this run game, man, the run game is very efficient and they are very efficient on first down. Like I think that is the key to this team because they're never in third and long situations really. Like when you look at that previous Oregon game, the reason that or even the Penn State game, the reason that it was a fight, particularly the Penn State game, I think that
I was like that, yeah.
they keyed down on the run and they
Yeah.
made Mendoza line up and have to throw and have to beat them.
And it took
And
a miraculous
it took
Omar
a lot,
Cooper
yeah.
touchdown to win that
It
game.
took a lot. You know what I mean? So I think if you can do that, if you're Oregon, it gives you a hell of a chance to go in there and beat this team. And like granted, and who's to say missing what's his name, Hemby on the line?
Roman Hemby. Oh no, no, on the line. Hemby the running
Yeah, on
back.
the defensive line. On the I'm not
Oh,
what's his
Daly,
name? Daly.
Stephen Daly.
Yeah, missing him, I think, can be a bit of a hindrance for their defensive line. But I mean, even still, like these guys haven't missed a beat. Did you see how they dominated Alabama?
Next man
And
up, bro.
and I think it's a fair case to say, maybe was Alabama not that good, or is Indiana that good? I think this game will definitely show which of those is true. But if you ask me, I think Indiana's just that good, man. They've shown it and they've proved it over the last 2 seasons over and over. Really the past four
That's
seasons, if you really
yeah.
want to think about it. Because a
What's
lot of these
Cincinnati
guys are
last
the
year?
same. Yeah, a lot of these guys are the same guys who were at JMU. A lot of these guys are fifth year seniors, grown men lining up at you. You know what I mean? And they get it, man. They get it. They understand the culture, and these guys are playing at an extremely high level, probably the highest level of anybody, minus us.
It was Omar Cooper. I was looking. I wanted to make sure I had the right receiver in that Penn State game. But I agree. I mean, the only reason why they didn't win the Sun Belt championship under Signetti in the FBS level is because they couldn't play
Because they
for it.
couldn't, yeah,
Yeah,
because they
they
couldn't.
literally couldn't play for it. If they could have, he would have won it. But yeah, a lot of these guys, like you said, are JMU guys. Elijah Surratt, not him, Kalen Black, Aiden Fisher, D'Angelo Pons, I forget Kamar's first name, but I think it's Macau, Kamar, something like that. Yeah, these
Have no
guys come
clue.
over from JMU and they just
Yeah.
ball. He know players and he's already reloading for next year, but he got my guy Nick Marsh.
Oh
But
man, he's reloading. The fact that he can do this and he's planning
focus
for a
on
semifinal
semifinal.
game, and y'all are, but maybe that lends to the fact that, okay, he has these coordinators who have been with him for umpteen years now, and maybe he could just say, hey guys, you guys worry about this game. I'll go hit the recruiting stuff, and I'll bring in, I'll reload the gun for us, and then you guys can aim and
Yeah.
shoot
However it gets done, he get it done. But yeah,
for
this
sure.
team, it's like a well-oiled machine. Like it's one of those things. If one mess up, the whole machine messes up. But if
Hmm.
everybody is locked in step, oh, it's tough, man. This team gonna run through you. I do want to say that I wanted to speak on your Dante Moore point for Oregon because I just remembered Dante Moore is a guy who at UCLA he started like 2-3 games straight with a pick six. Um,
Hmm.
to me, he's benefited probably from better coaching, one, than from UCLA to Oregon. I will
No doubt.
acknowledge that. But two, the type of receivers he have on the outside, he does have some athletes. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from Dante Moore. He's a good quarterback. He's a 5-star. He got good ball placement. But I think Dante Moore, kind of like Mendoza, kind of needs things to go perfect for him to like really elevate. Like I have not seen Dante Moore too much escape a pocket and make a play too much. And he necessarily hasn't have to, but I would like to see more of it. And this is just in
Hmm.
terms of like being a number one pick because you're not going to go to a team that's good as a number one
At
pick.
all.
You're going to go to a team
You're
that's a
going to
number
the
one pick
Jets,
for a
buddy,
reason.
or the Raiders.
So that's just in terms of that. But with Miami, I mean, not with Miami, with Oregon, he's been phenomenal for Oregon. He's definitely been a guy they've been showing like the guys they've gotten in past, and he's been along those lines of Dylan Gabriel. Excuse me, he waited behind Dylan Gabriel of Bo Nix, who came to Oregon and definitely performed. Of not Mariota, he wasn't a transfer. I can't remember who else transferred over there, but you get the point. He's come in
Hmm.
and he's performed. But ultimately, I'm going to Indiana, man. You know my motto. I don't bet against Signetti, and I'm not doing it here. I think just like you said with Lanning having his speeches, you don't think Signetti got that speech ready, locked and loaded? So
For
I'm
sure.
going with Signetti and the boys. I think they do hold off Oregon's get back of revenge. Now, I will say this: Oregon as a school, like historically, has not done well in playoff situations. Dating back even to last year when they played
Or big
Ohio State in the
games.
rematch and got flooded. They got smoked by Ohio State last year, a team that they beat early in that regular season. So just because they're seeing them twice does not mean anything. And Indiana under Signetti, they've been really good. So I'm just going to go with Indiana here. It's tough for me to bet against Signetti. Who you got?
Like you said, I think it's hard to beat a team twice, but I think it's hard to beat this Indiana team once. You know what I mean? Like they are just on another level. I believe that in totality, I do think that Oregon will give them a great bump, and I think that Oregon can definitely win the game. But if you ask me where more of the edges lie in this game, if you look at quarterbacks, I kind of got to go Mendoza just because I think he's more tested than Dante Moore. I think back to seeing Mendoza get drilled in that Ohio State game. I think back to how Alabama, just all out blitzed him that first series in their game, and he just settles himself. He comes back in there. He has a great attitude. He goes to his guys. He says, "Hey, I got this. Let's not worry. Let's just do our jobs and let's go get this." And that's what they do. You look at you look at the wide receivers. I kind of got to go with them as well. The running backs. I would probably lean Oregon, but
Oh
even
no,
but yeah, I mean exactly. You know what I mean?
I might go Oregon on the skills. You got DeCoin,
I,
Malik Benson.
I
He been playing well. I'll give Oregon tight end for sure. Kenyon Sadiq.
yeah, they definitely get tight
I
end, but
don't
I
know
think
though. You
but
might be
but
right.
I think Oregon has like the higher names for sure. But when
You
you're
might be
looking
right.
at the production, like
Yeah, you might be right because
I
EJ
think for sure.
Williams, Omar Cooper, Elijah Surratt, Charlie Becker. Yeah, I might go
Yeah,
Indiana
man, these
receiver.
guys
Yeah, you're right.
these guys are really
Yeah,
good.
okay. You're
These
right.
guys are really good. And then when you look at defense, I mean,
I'm going Indiana. I'm sorry.
I gotta go Indiana.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know what I
going
mean?
Indiana.
And then let's go to coaching.
Indiana.
How can I go against Signetti? You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
Cincinnati
It's
might be
like
the best of the best.
he
I'm
is. He really
sorry.
is. He really is. He's like he's Nick Saban on steroids or something. Like
I'm
it's really
sorry.
crazy.
Yeah.
What he's doing is something that we have never seen. I think, and I think that not enough people are appreciating it, even though it is getting way more press now than it ever has. But this man is special. He has a special football mind. He has a special football team, and special football teams make it to the Natty.
Yeah. So it sounds like we both got Miami and Indiana. So we'll see, man. We got an hour till alleged kickoff. I think it's gonna be like 10 minute delay before actual kickoff.
Yeah, you
But
always know it's like 7:43 or
yeah,
something.
they always gonna kick it off late. They got extra stuff that they could have probably did in the pregame show that they're gonna wait till kickoff to do. But man, great show, Ace. Any last words you want to say to the people before we sign off?
Whatever you do, bet your mortgage on Canes winning the Natty.
Do not bet your mortgage on anything. Do not come to you're not gonna come back to CTC and say, "Hey man, what that dude that told me
I
to
do
bet
not
my
recommend
mortgage?"
it. I'm just saying what I would do if I was you.
Don't bet your mortgage on nothing. That is
But
not.
nah, man, for real though, I think that we have a special team, and even if we do lose, I'm not putting this out there because I don't believe we're going to lose. But even if we do lose, this has been a very, very special season, and this has been the greatest season I've ever seen from the Miami Hurricanes. And man, I'm just appreciative. I'm beyond happy to see it. I really hope that this season turns everything around for us. I have been very hesitant to say this for a very long time, but the U is back, baby.
You
The
have
U is
not been
back.
hesitant to say that. Stop that.
Come on, man. Let me be humble. Damn.
No, nah, no. You've not been hesitant to say that. I knew you were about to say that. So I couldn't wait to burst your bubble. No, he is not.
See, this is why you can't be saying stuff in the group chat, man. You gotta
No,
just
he
keep
is
it
not.
close to the vest, man. This guy,
No, he is not, bro.
you ruined my Oscar.
Oh well. Your team ruined my team season. It is what it is. I gotta ruin something. Anyway.
Hey now.
Anyway.
You know what? Fair. Very fair.
But I will say this though, this is the season that Cam Ward deserved. But
Oh my God. Oh my God.
nonetheless, I'm happy
Cam
for you.
if Cam I'm not even gonna do that.
Nonetheless, I am happy for y'all for sure. I'm happy that y'all got
You a
in
real one.
and y'all, y'all doing your thing. Even when it looked glim, like it looked real.
Yeah, it looked crazy. It looked crazy.
I was always there, like y'all still got a shot. Y'all still got a shot. And
Nah, I will say, out of everybody that I know, you have been the most like even keeled about us. You don't trash us. You really be like, all right, I'm gonna call it how I see it, and I appreciate that.
yeah, so shout out to y'all, man. I do hope y'all play for the Natty. But if a certain team wins tomorrow,
Listen.
you know who
I
I'm
already
rooting
know.
for.
I already know, and I'm prepared for it. This is nothing that this ain't a ride I ain't already been on.
So it is what it is. But as always, I appreciate you coming through on the show, man. For sure, it's open door policy on this end.
Thanks, brother.
Hopefully y'all
Hopefully,
enjoyed.
I'll be on
Yeah.
here in
Oh, for
9
sure.
days or 10 days.
It's a minute because it's January 19th.
11.
Today's the 8th, so yeah, it's
Shoot,
gonna be a minute.
11 days.
Yeah, it's gonna be a minute until we talk about the national championship. But yeah, man, wishing y'all luck. Hopefully, y'all pull it out against Ole Miss. My final words is it's been a heck of a season, man. It has been. I've enjoyed every step except for Michigan State being trash. I have not enjoyed that, but I will say I did enjoy the Chipotle Bowl. We did beat Maryland in the Chipotle Bowl, so I got that. And Pat Fitzgerald was here, so that's two things I could take out of this trash season. So I guess I can live with that. Michigan State does play basketball tonight against Northwestern. They're actually about to tip off. I just got the notifications about to tip off, so hopefully we get that job done. I'll be watching the first half, second half. National championship, not national championship, semifinals is on. I do want to talk about a little bit of college basketball real quick while you're up here, because we got some historic things happening in college basketball this year. Vanderbilt is 15-0 for like the first time ever, I think. Nebraska, top 10 since 1966 in college basketball, 15-0 for the first time ever. I might be wrong about Vanderbilt 15-0 ever, but it's been a minute. Michigan is currently 14-0, 15-0, first time since like 2012, 2013. Miami of Ohio, best start ever at 15-0. Who else is undefeated? We got Arizona, first time since I want to say since like 2012 or around that time. So we got 6 teams that's currently still undefeated in college basketball, and it's like teams other than Arizona and Michigan who hasn't been undefeated at this spot in this time of the year in quite some time. So I just wanted to shout them out while I'm on the pod. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. And I'll be back Saturday to recap these semifinal games, man. Good luck if your team is playing, unless it's a team that I'm picking against. I'm sorry. But we're gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.